Maximum alert. Bears Nation. Do you think Ryan Poles is playing chess? Or is he betting the future on a spin of the roulette wheel? First move, a top 10 tight end that nobody expected, or a mistake that will make us cry all season? Not even. Caleb can save us if this blows up. Second move, re-signing the veteran we cut. Who's now going to charge us millions for revenge? The defense will shake if we repeat past mistakes. And finally, the bomb. A long snapper on a one-year deal. While other teams lock theirs up for decades, special teams are the key, and this is screaming disaster. Are you going to let Poles play with fire without saying a word? Subscribe. Now, hit like and find out why this will define 2025. For better OR for being burned on the sideline. Bears history is happening live, and you don't want to miss IT. Attention, Chicago Bears fans. Are you ready for a move that could change the course of Chicago's offense? Because what I'm about to tell you is no joke. The 2025 NFL Draft is just around the corner, and the rumors are on fire. Can you imagine? The Bears, with the 10th overall pick, selecting a tight end? That's right. You heard me. A tight end in the top 10 after already reinforcing the offensive line in free agency? I know some are already grabbing their torches, but hang on. Let me explain why this could be a game changer. Or a historic mistake. Tyler Warren, the next big thing in Chicago? That's what Field Yates from ESPN is projecting in his latest mock draft. And why? Because Ben Johnson, the new offensive mastermind, wants fireworks for Caleb Williams. And Warren, the tight end from Penn State, is no ordinary player. 104 receptions, 1,233 yards, and 8 touchdowns last season. First-team All-American and John Mackey Award winner. Sound familiar? This guy is a beast after the catch. A safety blanket with running back legs to let Williams work his magic. Could be, but hold up a second. Don't we already have Cole Kmet? The guy signed a massive extension in 2023, but last season, only 47 catches. Remember his 2023 season with 73 receptions. Exactly. What happened, Cole? Was it Caleb Williams? Was it the system? Something fell apart. And now? Bringing in Warren to bury him? Look, Kmet is still a solid player, but if Ben Johnson wants 2 tight ends in a 12 personnel set, Warren might be the explosive weapon that unlocks DJ Moore and Romo Duns. Here's the issue, Bears fans. Picking a tight end in the top 10 isn't a priority. With the defensive line still questionable and an offensive tackle spot that isn't truly elite, shouldn't we invest there instead? But hear me out. The Bears already signed Drew Dalman, Joe Thuney, and Jonah Jackson. The interior line is stacked. So now what? If the defense isn't ready, shouldn't we just give Caleb every weapon possible? And here's my stance. If Warren is the generational talent that justifies the 10th pick, then do IT Ryan Poles. But is he? Brock Bowers is tearing it up with the Raiders. But does Warren have that level? His numbers at Penn State scream yes, but wouldn't it be smarter to trade down stack picks and still grab him? Because let me tell you this, if Ben Johnson wants him, if Caleb needs him, then don't hesitate. Now, the big question for you all, is Tyler Warren the luxury the Bears can afford? Or is it absolute madness to pick him in the top 10? Would you rather strengthen the trenches or surround Williams with so much talent that even the Packers couldn't stop him? Are we really doing this again, Bears? Going back to an old flame while the real stars slip through our fingers? I've got the latest offseason bombshell, and you won't believe what's happening at Hollis Hall. They failed with Khalil Mack, and now they want to bring back Leonard Floyd. Reminder, last Friday, they posted a video on X with clips of Mack and the message, "Leave your legacy." Everyone thought it meant something. But the result? Mack re-signed with the Chargers, and Chicago was left empty-handed. And now? Now, rumors are flying about Floyd, the same player drafted in 2016 and tossed away like a broken toy. But wait, you know what makes this sting even more? Because Leonard Floyd, ever since leaving Chicago, has been a beast. You won a Super Bowl with the Rams, dropped 10.5 sacks with Buffalo, logged 8.5 sacks with San Francisco. And us, what did we do? We let him walk at 27 without ever maximizing his potential. How is he more dangerous after leaving Chicago? The question no one wants to ask, is this desperation or strategy? Look, I won't deny Floyd is still productive. 66.5 sacks in 9 years and 3 straight seasons with 8 sacks. But he's 32, and we already signed Dale Oyeanbio. Do we really need another veteran for depth? Or is this another Band-Aid while Austin Booker develops? Here's what I'll say. If Floyd comes back, let him prove to this organization what they lost. Because his first stint here, they never gave him the right system or support. Now, with Montez Sweat as the star, maybe Floyd could be a luxury compliment, but be careful. Do we really trust this staff to use him better than they did in 2019? And now, some harsh reality. The 49ers just cut Floyd to free up space. And us, picking up scraps again. Doesn't that hurt? Of course it does. But if we sign him, at least we could free up a roster spot by moving on from Jacob Martin or Dominique Robinson, who haven't delivered. But let me repeat, does this solve the real issue? Bears fans, I ask you, do you really want to see Leonard Floyd back in Chicago? Or should the franchise finally learn to develop its young pass rushers? Instead of chasing veterans that other teams have already squeezed dry. My final verdict, if Floyd signs a short, cheap deal, it's a smart move. But if Ryan Poles thinks this is the ultimate solution, he's dead wrong. This defense needs youth and consistency, not nostalgia. Stop repeating past mistakes. What do you think? Does Leonard Floyd deserve a second shot in Chicago, or should we focus on the draft instead? Think a long snapper doesn't deserve headlines. I'm telling you, you're wrong. The organization isn't sleeping on this, folks. While everyone's caught up talking about quarterbacks, star defenders, and blockbuster signings, the Chicago Bears just pulled off a strategic move that, yes, I'm talking about the long snapper. You ready? Because I'm about to drop some truth like always. Scott Daly is back for another year, and this has way more significance than you might think. Remember, Patrick Scales? 10 seasons rocking the bear on his helmet. A legend in the shadows. But the NFL is a ruthless business, my friends. And there's nitrogen monoxide room for sentimentality here. Listen to this. Back in 2024, Scales got injured. Again. And you know what Ryan Poles did? You brought in Daly from the practice squad, and after week 1, made him the new starter. The result? Clean snaps, 0 mistakes, 0 drama. And now they're giving him an extension. Of course. Why? Because stability in special teams is gold. But here's my issue, Bears family. Why not lock him in for longer? Just 1 year? Seriously? Daly is 29. He's in his prime. And alongside Cairo Santos and Torrey Taylor, that Australian punter who kicks like the ball owes him money, they make up an elite trio. You know what that means. When it comes to field goals, pats, and punts, we're covered for 3 seasons, and they're only giving Daly 12 months. Ryan Poles, are you testing something or just being cheap? And don't overlook the hidden message in all this. With Scales gone, the Bears officially cut ties with the last veteran from the Lovie Smith era. Scales was 35, coming off 2 serious preseason injuries. Would you trust a snapper who breaks like a piece of toast? I wouldn't. Daly is younger, cheaper, and more reliable. But here's the bombshell. What if Scales wanted to retire? As a Bear? Was he even given the option? This is the cruelty of football, folks. Now, let's look at the big picture. Chicago has retained Blackwell, Ogbongbemiga, and Hardy Monsters in coverage. But you know what? Special teams win close games. Remember that disaster against the Lions last year because of a botched snap? Exactly. With Daly, that's not happening. And pay attention. This move isn't flashy, but it's necessary. While other teams chase superstars, the Bears are building from the shadows. Will it work? I'll tell you this. If Santos Taylor and Daly keep their form, we'll have the edge in every tight game. But now I ask you, does Scott Daly deserve more than a year? Or should the Bears have kept Scales as a legend? How far are the Bears willing to go to build a legendary team? First, Tyler Warren, the talented tight end. Is he really worth taking in the top 10 of the draft? Or would it be smarter to shore up the offensive line to protect Caleb Williams? Or stack up weapons around him to completely humiliate the Packers? You decide. Second, Leonard Floyd. Yes or nitrogen monoxide to his return to Chicago? Do you prefer a veteran who already gave his best years elsewhere? Or is it time for the Bears to finally develop their young pass rushers? No more excuses. What would you do? And third, the controversial coaching staff change. Does Scott Daly deserve more than a year to prove his value? Or should Scales have stayed on as a franchise symbol? It's time to cast your verdict. If you want the Bears to hear the fans' voice, this is your space. Comment your thoughts. And don't stay on the sidelines. And if you're not part of this family yet, subscribe now. Together we'll build the best Bears fan community on YouTube. Smash that button, turn on the notifications, and I'll see you in the comments. Bear down, family.